to invite here on the stage Mr. Prashant Jain, Managing Director, GE Power India Limited, for his speech. Please welcome Mr. Prashant Jain on the stage.
Thank you and very good afternoon to you all. Obviously the lunch was very good and sumptuous, and that reflects in the room and the stillness and the silence and the energy in the room. So I'll just try once more again and say very good afternoon, my pleasure to be here. Good afternoon. That's fantastic. And one statement I want to start with today is around the ESG, EHS. One element that kind of centers it all is human beings. And if you recognize that behind all of this is one human being, and collectively all human beings as a society. And 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, when we leave this earth, what is the legacy that we want to leave behind? In my view, that is the fundamental behind what we do today in terms of ESG and EHS. In fact, I had this fantastic discussion with my team and I said, look, if we just took our photograph today, put it on a frame and write down, I, Prashant Jain, commit to this legacy when I leave this earth in 10 to 20 years from now. And this is going to be my legacy. And that is the contribution I think all of us need to write down and say, what does ESG mean to me? What does ESG mean to us in the context of the society in India? And that is very important, and that is where I would like to come to the second topic. When I say ESG, starting with economic empowerment. Now to me, I don't want to sound hypocritical in a 5-star hotel, air conditioning around me, a lot of comfort, nice meal, and then maybe I'm talking about economic empowerment, where I have a strata of the society in the country with $500 or less income per year, and on the other side probably in this room today. How do we ensure economic empowerment for a society that is so diverse as the society of India? So that is the part, if I have to say from society, S, if I borrow, it boils down to E, environment, the pressures that we are seeing today on the environment. That is the dilemma between economic empowerment and social empowerment. Because economic empowerment drives on energy, and energy is the one that is contributing to 70% of the greenhouse gases in this world. And if you need to do something meaningful to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions in this world, energy then becomes the cornerstone, with 70% of the greenhouse gases coming from energy. And then on top of that, when we look at a country like India, we have 74% of this electricity today that is coming from coal. That's 74% electricity that we are all currently using is coming from coal. And coal consumes or creates 1,000 grams per unit of carbon footprint. There is a very ambitious plan by 2030 to add 500 gigawatts, 410 plus gigawatts now of renewable energy on the grid, and that's fantastic. We should do it and fully committed to that. However, in 2030, we will still be consuming about 55% of energy from coal. That's the reality of our country, because the addition of 500 gigawatt is not enough in the country to move fully renewable energy, which means 20 years from now, even the country's energy demand is going to become higher by 100%. India will be the largest emitter of greenhouse gases when we go towards 2030, 2040, when we have 100% energy increase. Now, if I say no, we should stop coal, then we are on the other side sacrificing the economic empowerment that is so crucial for this society. And on the other side, if I look at the environment, it is a huge issue. So in the Indian context, and this is where I want to give a sense on what we are focusing as GE Power India Limited. We have committed that, look, the Western world and the European world, for them it makes sense to walk away from coal. But for India, we will not be able to walk away from coal. That is the reality we have to face. And by 2070, we will still have net zero, which is a long time away. And by 2030, 40, we will still have 50% energy coming largely from fossil fuel. So the environment front, when we look at the energy contribution to the greenhouse gases, the mission that we have taken for our business is how can I bring down the carbon footprint of the existing coal-fired power plants from 1,000 grams per unit down to maybe 500 grams per unit. Because if we do this, we will not only do justice to the country, but we will also do justice to the whole world, because India will have such a huge magnitude of greenhouse emissions coming from our energy assets even 10 or 20 years later. So the world has to wake up that while it makes sense for Europe and the US not to invest anymore in coal, maybe, but for countries like India, Africa, countries in Asia, the economic empowerment is not enough, adequate. The access to alternative renewable energy sources is not at that pace that the society needs for the next couple of decades. And therefore, for Asia, we still need investments into decarbonization, reducing carbon emissions from the existing coal assets. So that's one piece I wanted to touch upon in the environment. I thought it would be interesting to share this insight when we talk about the ESG goals. The second topic that I wanted to touch upon was safety, which is what we are here together today to celebrate. Now, what comes first? Sustainability or basic economic empowerment? The answer is very clear. We see still in our city, not too far away, employees ferrying on top of buses. It's not too far away, within 40 kilometers is what we see. The guy is struggling to make his amends, meet his daily needs. And now you go and tell him now you should be wearing a helmet because you're on the top of a bus and follow safety protocols, probably is not there yet. And therefore, safety is such a big commitment when we make that every person has the right, fundamental right to go back home safely. That is our commitment when I create economics around my business. That's a huge commitment for us to make in India. And I can say that we have made that commitment. We at GE Power India Limited have made that commitment that look, we will make this country safe, one person at a time. And I'm proud, all of you have gathered here today to make that commitment together with me. Are we all in this together?
Yes, sir.
I think this is what is the legacy that I think we today, so-called privileged, when I compare to the $500 average wager in the country, are privileged. And we are in a position to make this difference to the society. And we have an awareness, and we are lucky that we can see the risk that the average person is taking in his life to make his ends meet. And therefore, when we create economics with our supply chain, with our work on site, and when we create economics around us, let's make this commitment that we will keep safety as the first fundamental principle before we do anything else. So we have adopted the lean transformation principles worldwide in GE, and also in India we are committed to SQDC as our fundamental principles, which means safety, quality, delivery and cost in absolute same order of priority. Which means anything I start, first thing I say is it safe. And when we say safe, it also gets brought into EHS, whether it is the right ergonomics. Is the person safe? Is he putting himself into a hazardous situation, back stress or etc. And therefore, that helps increasing his productivity. And therefore, I believe it's not only good for doing risk-free business, but it is also good for the person, good for the society, and good for the business. So therefore, ESG and EHS are not mere buzzwords. I am personally committed to it, and I'm so glad to see I am not alone and I have all of you together in this journey. And I'm looking forward to this journey together with you all. So wishing you all the best and a great conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for being part of Global Safety Summit.